What does it actually take to build a business from absolutely nothing, like zero? Well, welcome to today's explainer. If you've ever looked at a packed, thriving storefront and wondered about the hidden mechanics of exactly how it got there, you are in the right place. Today, we're putting together a practical, step-by-step masterclass on starting a small business. We're skipping the abstract theories and looking purely at the concrete actions required to build something from the ground up. Our source material for today is an incredible narrative called The Alchemy of the Grind. We're going to anchor our explainer around the story of a guy named Ethan. Now, Ethan didn't have a trust fund. He actually grew up watching his parents sacrifice just to keep the lights on. But somehow, he managed to turn a very simple, everyday observation into a thriving physical business. It's honestly the perfect blueprint for transforming nothing into something. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap. We're going to break Ethan's journey down into 5 specific phases. 1. Spotting the opportunity. 2. The reality of launching. 3. Iterating and building community. 4. Surviving unexpected setbacks. And 5. The true formula for success.
All right, phase 1, spotting the opportunity. This is where it all begins.
For Ethan, this whole thing started with a simple walk. He was just watching city commuters, noticing how heavily they relied on that morning cup of coffee to jumpstart their day, and that simple observation sparked a massive question. What if he could create a place where people could enjoy great coffee and feel welcomed? Now keep in mind, when he asked himself this, he had literally zero money, zero business experience, and absolutely no mentors to guide him. The idea honestly seemed impossible, but he just couldn't shake it.
So once you have that light bulb moment, how do you actually fund it when your pockets are empty? Well, you bootstrap, and Ethan's approach was as gritty and practical as it gets. Step 1, he worked extra hours. Step 2, he saved literally every single dollar. No dinners out, no unnecessary spending. And Step 3, he bought a beat-up secondhand cart. He didn't sit around waiting for a magical angel investor to swoop in. He funded his very first asset through pure, unfiltered discipline.
Which brings us to phase 2, the reality of launching. Get ready for the hard truth.
If you're ever going to start your own thing, you really need to brace yourself for this next part, opening day. Ethan wakes up way before sunrise, preps his cart flawlessly, and expects the rich aroma of his coffee to just magically draw in massive crowds. But the reality? Crickets. He waited. Hours and hours passed. Almost nobody showed up. By the time he packed up, he had earned practically nothing, and this brilliantly illustrates a completely normal yet totally devastating entrepreneurial moment.
Statistically speaking, this is the exact moment where a massive percentage of small businesses fold. Most people would have just quit, but Ethan, he returned the next day, and the day after that. He faced down some seriously discouraging days and a lot of internal doubt, but showing up anyway, that sheer persistence, that is the only bridge that exists between a failed launch and a functioning business.
Moving right along to phase 3, iterating and building community. You see, you can't just stubbornly show up every day with a mediocre product. You have to actively make it better. Instead of getting bitter about his tiny, unglamorous cart, Ethan flipped his mindset. He became obsessed with learning more about coffee. He started experimenting with new flavor profiles and paying intense attention to the little details. Basically, he optimized the only things he actually had control over.
And slowly but surely, that hustle started to pay off. The growth started to compound, almost like a snowball rolling downhill. In week 1, a single customer became 2. By month 1, 5 became 10. Word of mouth began to organically spread through the neighborhood. Over the course of a year, that tiny, struggling little street stall transformed into a beloved fixture in the community.
But why did they become so loyal? It definitely wasn't just the caffeine. It was his approach to the people. He remembered their names. He knew their favorite drinks by heart. He treated every single person with deep respect. Listen, if you want a guaranteed blueprint for client retention, this is it right here. Those tiny, personal details are what create unshakable loyalty.
Okay, phase 4, surviving unexpected setbacks. Time to weather the storm.
Anyone who has built a business knows that growth is never, ever a straight line. Just as things were finally stabilizing for Ethan, a massive storm hit and severely damaged his hard-earned equipment. Let's just pause and really process that for a second. In one night, it felt like years of painstaking effort and all those saved pennies had just been completely washed away. It was a major crisis, totally out of his control.
So the crucial point is how he reacted, because how you react when the storm hits is what defines your business. As the source text puts it, rather than giving up, Ethan worked even harder. He found ways to repair the damage.
Setbacks like this are the ultimate stress test. He put in longer hours and proved his absolute, undeniable dedication to his dream.
And because he weathered that disaster, he earned the right to scale. The cart's popularity exploded, leading to lines down the block every morning. He diligently saved all of those new earnings until he realized it was finally time. He took that capital, rented an empty storefront, and completely transformed it into a warm, inviting brick-and-mortar coffee house.
Picture opening day at the new shop. The room is absolutely packed, and a ton of those folks were the exact same people who supported his beat-up cart from day one. This young man, who once stood around for hours struggling to sell a single cup, now owned a highly successful business. He's hiring employees, creating jobs, and pouring value back into his neighborhood.
Which brings us to our final phase, Phase 5, the true formula for success.
Whenever people asked Ethan what his secret was, he always made one thing very clear. It wasn't luck. His defining philosophy? Success is about showing up when nobody notices. It's about those freezing early mornings at the cart when not a single soul was buying, but he was still pulling the absolute perfect shot of espresso anyway.
So to summarize the practical takeaways from this explainer today, if you want to build from nothing, you have to keep pushing when the progress feels agonizingly slow. You have to stubbornly believe in your dream long before anybody else gets it. And most importantly, you just have to take that small, messy, imperfect first step.
As we wrap things up, I want to leave you with one final, provocative question. Look at everything Ethan managed to accomplish just by starting with exactly what he had. So, what is the small first step for your big dream? Don't sit around waiting for the perfect conditions. Figure out what that step is and start planning it today. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I hope this empowers you to get out there and start building.